Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of graphing functions and identifying features. This is standard A.3C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 35 off the 2019 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have just 2 points here, -7, 0, 1, 8, and the graph of the linear function k passes through those 2 points. So since they give us this graph, let's go ahead and mark those down. So that's that first point, and that's the second point right here, and we could try to draw a line to connect the two. It's not going to be perfect, but we can at least visualize it right here. All right. So we need to find one true statement. All right, so the slope of the graph of k is -4/3. Well, I don't know what the slope is exactly. I mean, we can see that we went up 8 and over 8. So looks like, right, because I'm at -7, so it looks like I'm going, it's rise over run. So how much did it go up? So it looks like I went up from 0 to 8, and then I went over from -7 to 1. So that looks like it's 8. So it looks like 8 over 8, at least between those 2 points. So I'm thinking my slope is 1. I'll double check that in a second. I know it's not going to be -4/3 just simply because of this negative. A negative slope goes down from left to right. That's going up. So how do we check our slope? Well, change in y over change in x. So let's just calculate it real quick, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be 1 or really close to 1. So let's make that x1, y1, x2, y2. So it's going to be 8 minus 0. That's pretty easy. And then it's going to be 1 minus -7. Yeah, there we go. 8 over 8, because that's positive. All right, so my slope is just 1. So it's not A. Let's check B. The graph of k passes through the point -1, -8. So here's -1, and here's -8. What in the world? No, it does not. This, I could just tell you this right here. This point right here is nowhere on this graph, unless it's a parabola and it has this weird bend. But it's not. I don't think it is. It's just a linear function. It's not a quadratic. So we could just visually see, without any type of calculation, it's not going to work. What we could do, if we really wanted to test that outright, is find the point slope form or the slope intercept form of this, and then plug in these 2 points and see if it works. Okay, so let's see if we can, we'll do that if we need to. That's a no, but we can verify that if we need to. The 0 of k is 7, or the x-intercept of the graph is -7. Okay, so here's the strange thing. These two are actually looking for the same thing. Okay, so our x-intercept, let's define that real quick, is where the line or the function crosses the x-axis. And so it's actually a pair of coordinates here. So where does it cross the x-axis? Well, we've got it right there, right? So we've got that as your -7, 0. So it's -7, 0. But for shorthand, since it's always going to have a y coordinate of 0, we'll typically just refer to the x-intercept as just that x coordinate, right? But the 0 is actually asking for the same thing. The 0 is asking for what happens if f of x equals 0. What is this x value? Well, f of x, right, is going to be that range, right? So that's really asking for what happens if y equals 0. And we know what happens when y equals 0. When y is 0, then the x coordinate is going to be -7. That is the 0, or that is the x-intercept. So our answer here is D.